Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a fantabulous couple in love that loves reacting to some Fallout.
Yeah, it's Fallout.
Yeah, it's Fallout time. So this is Storyteller for Fallout Season 2, Episodes 10 and 11, or Episodes 11 and 12, I should say. And that is Commonwealth and Nuka Cola. Nice, we get to learn more about Nuka Cola. All right. Well, everyone loves it so much.
Yeah.
And we have our own special drink for Fallout.
We do.
I remembered.
You did. Well done, bud. So this is our stim pack spritzer because it has a stim pack.
Mm-hmm.
So you add the stim pack, you stir it around because that's just a good idea. And then you cheers.
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 In the ruins west of New Vegas, there's a building with a huge soda bottle right in front. Greenhorns from out east always think it's the Nuka Cola factory.
Is that why that was on my mind the other day?
It's actually the home of the West's favorite beverage, Sunset Sarsaparilla.
Howdy, partner.
Howdy, Festus.
If you and old Festus are old pals, say a command now.
Old Festus here will give you the official history of soda pop, but...
I'm sorry. I didn't quite understand that. Could you repeat it?
No, Edna. I don't think old Festus was exactly state-of-the-art when he was built. Why? Well, in the back-when times, they didn't want their robots to be too human. Humanity had a tenuous grip on its own survival. They didn't need any competition from lifelike robots. They made simple bots like Festus here to handle work that humans couldn't be bothered to do. Yup. There have been a few advances in robotics over the last 200 years. In fact, there are robots so advanced that they can pass themselves off as real humans. There's a whole network of people on the East Coast dedicated to helping these synthetic humans live free in the Capital Wasteland. Nah, no one in the Capital Wasteland can make robots that advanced. Not even the Brotherhood of Steel. These synthetic people come from a place called the Commonwealth. Before the war, America was divided into 13 Commonwealths. They called it the 50 States about 300 years ago. But by the time of the Great War, those states were grouped together into 13 larger Commonwealths. Nevada used to be part of the Southwest Commonwealth. The Capital Wasteland was called the Eastern Commonwealth. The only place that still goes by the name Commonwealth is far north of Washington, D.C. Only a handful of people have ever ventured there and back. There's a ferryman who claimed that his old steamboat had made the trip. There used to be a woman from a church in the Commonwealth who was trying to convert the swamp folk of Point Lookout to some kooky religion. Never been there myself. The corpse of America is home to many scavengers trying to carve their societies out of the carrion of this nation. And a person can spend their life walking back and forth across the continent and still never see it all. By most accounts, the Commonwealth is a barbaric hellhole that makes the NCR frontier look positively civilized. Although there was a fella named Zimmer who used to hang around Rivet City, he claimed that parts of the Commonwealth were better off than anywhere else in the wasteland. He was full of $2 words, but according to Zimmer, the one bright spot in the Commonwealth is a place called the Institute. Before the bombs fell, it was a university for smarty-pants technophiles. Robert House himself attended the Institute way back when.
Just did not expect him to say smarty
Since
pants.
the war, the nation's remaining Poindexters seem to have congregated there and built a technologically advanced haven in the midst of the chaos. No outsiders have made it inside and returned to say what it's like, although we hear the occasional tale from escaped androids. Seems like the synthetic humans are so lifelike that they understand they're being treated as slaves. Some, at least. They consider themselves equals to the humans that created them, but their human masters don't see it the same way. So the synthetics escape and try to blend in with the humans along the East Coast. The Institute has a synth retention bureau that hunts down escaped synthetics and brings them back by force. There are plenty of folk in the Capital Wasteland who don't care for slavery in any form, so it isn't surprising that there's a secret network of people who help the android runners evade the retention bureau. The members of this underground railroad are tight-lipped about the organization, but wanderers who sniff around places with a lot of scientists are likely to find ways to help them fight the good fight. With the aid of the Underground Railroad, some synthetics have had their faces reconstructed to look like entirely different people. At least one went so far as to erase his own memories. He left recordings of his plans scattered all over the capital wasteland. He might still be out there, unaware that he's a robot, living the life of an ordinary wastelander. There could be other androids in the world too, secretly living among the humans, with no one aware of their true nature, not even themselves. No, Edna, I'm not an android. I'm just a footsore...
Howdy, partner.
Howdy, partner.
What?
Howdy, stranger.
Remember me? Probably not.
Guy from the campfire?
You're a guy that gets around, sees many faces. I'll try and jog your memory.
Okay. There's a bone over here. Can you reach it, handsome?
I don't know.
Over here.
You want to hit this one? Is that awesome? Or?
No, there's another one. Same area, handsome, but further back behind my chair.
Okay.
I don't know which one's Foxy's and which one's Bucky's, but Bucky's happy with that one. Hopefully she's happy with that one, and we can just be fine. God, guys, just when it was getting good.
Yeah, no.
You're a guy that gets around, sees many faces.
It's gonna be messed up though.
Probably not. You're a guy that gets around, sees many faces. I'll try and jog your memory. My associate and I first met you a while back.
Can't call him his friend.
And I asked you to tell us where Nuka Cola comes from.
Oh yeah, I remember you. In fact, here's that robot cowboy I told you about.
Howdy, partner.
You jerk. You yammered on about the wasteland for 4 hours, then disappeared, and that scavenger tried to kill me. He tried to kill me over a bottle of soda. Since then, I've been tracking you down. From one end of the Mojave to the other. From Zion to the Long 15. And now...
Oh, damn.
Now you're gonna tell me everything about Nuka Cola.
God, he really wants to know.
Okay, just calm down. I'll tell you all you need to know. But that is a story for... right now. It's a story for right now.
Well done.
Yeah, I love it so much that they're like having like a story, within the story that the storyteller. Yeah, that's great that they brought him back. I want to know how he lived, and after getting like shot like point blank with a shotgun for some Nuka Cola. I love that he tracked him down. Not to like get revenge or anything like that, but he really wants to know about Nuka Cola and the origin of it.
That's just it. Like, instead of tracking down the guy who tried to kill you and getting revenge, he's followed this guy to learn about soda.
Yeah.
That's
It's really important, soda.
amazing. That is not a normal human response, so I just have so many questions about who this guy is.
Yeah. So the one guy that like erased his memory so that he wouldn't know that he was a AI, a robot. Would you want to know that? Like if would you want to know right now that you actually are a robot? Because I got the programming in my phone. I can do it right now. How else can I get a beautiful wife like her? That's she.
I think I would want to know.
Yeah?
Yeah, because part of growing up is learning that when you're trying to fit in is something that you're not, when you're trying to emulate others, something that we all do when we're kids in school, right? Like you want to fit in, you don't want to be the outsider, you want to like have the same kind of stuff that everyone else has so that you're not left out. And I mean, there are all those fads that go around when you're in school, right? And then you become an adult and you realize like, God, the outsiders were the best people. Like, they're the ones doing the interesting creative work now. They're the ones who go on to become stars. They're the ones who have all of these amazing life experiences from being the outcast or the misfits or all the other things that has now put them in a better spot as adult, and they are vastly more interesting people, generally speaking. So as a robot, I think I would want to know who I am and my true nature so that I can capitalize it and live, it's going to be cliche, but live my best life, rather than trying to be human and pass myself off as human, which even if I do that well, I'm never going to be more human than the humans.
Okay, good answer.
What about you?
I like to say I'm that brave. I think I wouldn't want to know. It would mess me up too much.
So if you were Neo in the Matrix, you would go for the blue pill?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Ignorance is bliss.
I don't think Neo's life was that great in the Matrix.
Yeah, his life wasn't that great in the Matrix. That's true.
Less deadly.
I don't know.
though.
I think it's a little different, like figuring out you're a robot than like, I don't know, the Neo in the Matrix, and escaping that, and like feeling like your reality is not real. I don't know. I think they're two different things. I think I wouldn't want to know if I was a robot or not. So don't tell me. If I'm a robot, please don't tell me in the comments. I do not want to read that. All right. So going on to the Storyteller Fallout Season 2, Episode 12, Nuka Cola. We're finally going to find out about Nuka Cola.
Here we go.
I've been tracking you down, from one end of the Mojave to the other, from Zion to the Long 15, and now you're gonna tell me everything about Nuka Cola.
Like the little pause
What is
between
it
everything
made
and
of?
Nuka Cola.
Where does it come from? Why is it so delicious and refreshing? Why can't I stop drinking it? And most importantly, why does my pee glow in the dark when I drink that blue soda?
Oh.
Start talking.
Glow-in-the-dark urine, halitosis, mild irritability. Yep, I've seen these symptoms before. Son, I'm afraid you got yourself addicted to Nuka Cola Quantum. The regular Nuka Cola is mighty habit-forming, but that Quantum is bad stuff, and you aren't the only one who's developed a hankering for it. Folk all over the wasteland are chasing the blue fairy, as they say. Unfortunately for you, Nuka Cola Quantum is awful hard to come by in these parts. The company that made it is based on the East Coast, just outside of DC, and Quantum was only released in local test markets. It was an extremely rare collectible even before the war, and Nuka junkies have been hunting down every last bottle for 200 years. The original Nuka Cola formula used a secret blend of 17 fruit juices. Quantum has 18, but it ain't the pomegranate juice that gives it that glow.
Damn.
It's a radioactive isotope with a half-life so long that there'll be glowing outhouses all over the wasteland for 1,000 years.
Oh my God.
Nuka Cola always had highly addictive properties, even before they added 2 scoops of strontium. It's not just the refreshing taste that put a Nuka Cola machine on every corner in every town on the continent. Nope, it was all thanks to the ruthless business tactics of Mr. John Caleb Bradburton, this concoction of habit-forming chemicals. Bradburton founded the company in 2044, just 30 years before the war, but by the time the bombs fell, his soda pop had become a ubiquitous part of American culture. I've heard legends that the company was so influential that they could even sponsor their own Vault-Tec vault just to experiment on how humans would fare if they had a nearly unlimited supply of Nuka Cola. Each generation got pudgier, plumper, and more addicted than the last.
I gotta find that vault.
Good luck. A Shangri-La full of soda pop hidden in the middle of the wasteland probably doesn't exist. Just a pipe dream that strung out Nuka junkies tell each other to help them sleep at night when they got the Nuka shakes.
Nuka shakes.
The best source of credible information on Nuka Cola is a jittery young woman in the East. She built a little museum to Nuka Cola underneath the bridge, her tiny shack crammed with every bit of memorabilia she could scavenge. Had a working refrigerator that kept her cola ice cold too, and should give you a free bottle of cool frosty pop if you politely sat through a tour of the museum. She even had a special vending machine intended to promote Quantum once it hit the mass market. was designed to hold 30 bottles of ice-cold Nuka-Cola Quantum. It was completely empty last time I was there.
No.
She would ask anyone who wandered by to scour the wasteland and find her enough Quantum to fill up her vending machine. Kept trying to bribe people with a recipe for making pie with Quantum soda, and I can't imagine anyone foolish enough to gather up that much soda, then just hand it over to a stranger for some pie. She could make all sorts of things using Quantum as an ingredient, but even she didn't know how to actually make Nuka-Cola Quantum.
But surely, someone knows the secret recipe for Nuka-Cola Quantum.
Nope. Closest thing to a secret formula that I ever heard about was for some unreleased clear soda that never even made it into production. Used to be a gang of neo-Canadians in Washington was trying to recover it from the offices of the Nuka-Cola plant. But I think the Nuka lurks in the factory took care of their safecracker. Sorry, kid, but if you want another bottle of Quantum, you got a long walk east ahead of you.
But what about this place? I mean, by the glow, it's shaped like a giant soda bottle, like it's mocking me.
This here is the headquarters of Sunset Sarsaparilla. They were Nuka-Cola's chief rival in the soft drink industry. Made root beer, not cola. Old Festus there can tell you about it.
Howdy, partner. Wrangle up a stool and listen to old Festus jaw a while.
Rivals, you say? Was there ever a Quantum Sarsaparilla?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand that.
Stupid robot, doesn't understand anything. Say, what were you doing here? Why were you sneaking around this factory in the middle of the night?
I was telling Edna about the chem fiends who live in this area, and figured I'd grab myself some sarsaparilla and play a game of lucky horseshoes with my pal Festus.
If you're here to challenge old Festus to a game of lucky horseshoes, say, I feel lucky.
You know more about quantum soda than you're letting on. Tell me everything about Sunset Sarsaparilla, or none of us are getting out of here alive.
I do know a little more about soda pop, but that's a story for the immediate future.
Nice. So next we're going to learn about Sunset Sarsaparilla.
Which is good, because, I mean, cola's good, but root beer is awesome.
This is true. Yes, root beer is awesome. What'd you think?
I enjoyed the humor.
Yeah, I agree.
This Nuka-Cola character is still, again, so interesting to me. Pointing the gun at him and be like, tell me why it tastes so delicious. I mean, just the absurdity of it is wonderful for humor. And also, I mean, I can't say that this person wouldn't exist in this world and sort of the nuclear apocalypse, because they've laid a foundation for this stuff being very addictive, and he certainly has attributes of him that are perhaps addict-esque in terms of his seeking out this cola and all information on it. I thought it was very interesting, the woman who keeps the like quantum cola museum that she lives in.
So I assume that's like a side mission or something like that in one of the Fallout games, and you can like go and try to find enough like 30 bottles of Nuka-Cola or whatever to give to her, and then she'll make you a pie or something. I mean,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Pie for Nuka-Cola Quantum. This world just got so much more interesting.
Let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And if you want early ad-free access to our Fallout reactions and our other reactions on Definitely Not Definitive games, check out the description of this video because we got a link to our Patreon there, as well as a link for a playlist for all of our Fallout reactions here on YouTube.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for Fallout Storyteller Season 2, Episode 11 and 12. But just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.